It allows you to go super, super fast, but it basically never breaks traction. Next up, we have the Ford Bronco, one of our cover cars, basically the hottest SUV of the year. And then a car that I would say needs no introduction, but we gave it a pretty cool introduction 2 weeks ago on the previous Let's Go stream. But yes, it is the 2020 Toyota Supra GR. One interesting point about the car select in this game, in previous Horizons,
talk us through what we're about to drive up to.
Yeah, so we've taken part in the initial drive. We've just seen 4 separate cars drop out of the back of a cargo plane, and we thought, well, what next? Let's go race against that cargo plane. And so this is a showcase event in which we will take on that cargo plane.
Perfect. And we're also hearing some characters talking during this drive as well. Who were they? Do we recognize them? Are they new?
The voice you can hear right now is Scott Tyler, the only character to have appeared in all 5 Horizon games. He is our resident DJ on Horizon Base Arena. He's also the hype man at the festival. And in this instance, if I wasn't talking over it, you'd have heard him saying that he's just been pulled off mic. He's been dragged out of the booth for a reason that might become obvious in just a few minutes' time. We're also in Mullahay now as well, right?
Yeah, we're in Mullahay, which is this this town that's right in the middle of the living desert. Very nice, charming town. And just outside the town is some festival goers.
What are they doing here?
Yeah.
Problem. Not one that we need to worry about, because I think this probably is one of our most spectacular showcases we've put together so far. Andy actually designed this. So Andy, our resident driver, who you may hear the voice of very soon, was actually the level designer who put this showcase together. So if anybody can drive it in a perfect fashion, it will be him.
That's Addis.
No pressure. Yeah, thanks.
It's also a new car, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah. This is Ken Block's V2 Escort Cosworth. It's an amazing car built with sort of modern rally specs in mind, with all the aerodynamics and insane grip that those cars have these days. And of course, an amazing livery.
Amazing livery, which says Forza Horizon on it as well, which is lovely. Yeah, it's not. Is it like 300 horsepower?
Yeah, I think it's 370 horsepower.
Okay, 370. So not crazy powerful, but super lightweight, and can really move. Because it's light as well, the brakes are awesome. So even in some of the tricky driving maneuvers you'll have to pull in a minute, it is possible to slow down really fast.
Yeah, and Ken Block's Gymkhana videos are a massive inspiration for me as well.
Oh wow! What, for the showcase event?
Process. Yeah, it was something that I considered when I was sort of making it. If Horizon was to make one of the Gymkhana videos, you know, what would we do? So that's the sort of the lens that I looked at. The event.
Right.
A plane becomes bikes.
Yeah. Perfect timing, right into Guanajuato, which is our main city in the game.
There's those good brakes.
Yeah. And just like we've shown in previous footage, Guanajuato is like super beautiful city with undulating roads and an underground tunnel network. There's actually a mural right there by Spake, one of the mural artists, our Mexican mural artists. And yeah, I just love the color and the architecture, the Baroque and neoclassical architecture in here. There you get a shot of the Guanajuato Basilica.
One of the most iconic buildings in all of Mexico.
Wow.
It's a stunning building.
Yeah. Good storm has it in Hoonigan. Look at the colours as well. I will never forget you said this to me on stream previously, of all the houses being different shades, and it's so gorgeous.
Yeah, and you can't have the same color house next to each other.
I like that they all taking their own little off routes as well. They're just sort of like coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's the thing about these showcase opponents. They will do anything to win. Always up to tricks, aren't they, Andy?
Yep. You've always got to keep the player second guessing what's coming next.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're right up in the northern tip of the map at the moment as well.
So yeah, we'll get a glimpse of the canyon, but we'll take a closer look later.
Whoa! What happened there?
So that bike knew he was beaten. He knew he didn't have a chance. So he has switched to a wingsuit for the final stretch, despite basically having the performance of a Formula One car.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it looks incredible, doesn't it? Like it's
the shape of it is stunning.
The shark fin on there, which to me looks like that's there purely to show off, but Andy assures me that there are real performance benefits to it.
And there's this new icon right in the bottom right as well. What's this? Please explain what this is.
So one of the particularly awesome things about this car is if you were to purchase this car, it comes with a couple of modes. And it's quite common for performance cars to have different modes, but they don't.
Oh, sorry, mate.
They don't always. They're not always as cool as this. So on the steering wheel, there's a button that you can press which swaps you from track mode to street mode. So if Andy gives it a click. We're currently in track mode and we'll transition to street mode. So you see those fins over the wheel arch close, the spoiler dips down and the car actually raises on its suspension. So if you need to get over a speed bump or pull up into your drive, then you might put it into this mode. It also kind of smooths out some of the lines, looks a bit sleeker. The cool thing about that is you can just click that button whenever as you're driving around the world, and it really changes the performance of the car as well.
I was about to ask how you would like actively use it in Forza. Actually, like, was there a Sunday drive version of the car versus a race mode?
That is literally what it is, to be honest. This probably isn't the place that car would most be at home, smashing through this poor farmer's polytunnels, wrecking all the crops. But yeah, it kind of shows what the car can do. It's still a really powerful, awesome car, and apparently is perfectly drivable through a farm field.
And as you can tell, we're in a new biome that we haven't shown before, which is the Mexican farm field, which is, I guess, farmland is a staple of Horizon games by now. And definitely for Forza Horizon 5, we have like some unique Mexican crops, which Andy will drive by. I think we saw him driving through some agave previously.
What, are we going to go trash now? What's this?
So these are Mexican beans.
Oh.
Yeah, bean plants.
Have a rough harvest. Around.
I think it's worth saying as well at this juncture that we are currently looking at Xbox Series X gameplay, but it is a development build. So if you happen to spot any weird little quirks and bugs, then that is purely because it's a development
game
build.
development for you.
Hey, it might even crash. We'll hopefully.
Let's not tempt fate with that one.
More beans, and here we have some another crop, sorghum. And the cool thing with sorghum, because it's so tall and you could squash them, you could actually make some really awesome crop signs in the fields.
Leave messages for other players.
You can leave messages for other players, yeah.
And contrary to what Andy may have made you believe, there are actually roads within the farmland as well.
It's just like a great car to just toot around everywhere and just, I don't know. This looks like my go-to sort of, I'm just going to drive really fast over a hill and get somewhere car.
And there it is, the Mark 1 Ford Escort, an absolute icon, honestly. I think Andy's going to tell us a bit more about this one. Andy, what's cool about this?
Okay, so this is quite a fitting car because this car took part in a rally in 1970 from the UK to Mexico.
Okay.
So I guess that's sort of a Horizon 4 to 5 transition there.
Interesting lore
so
about it.
A 16,000 mile rally across the world there, and and this car won. So it's based on Mark 1 Escort RS 1600, which they beefed up to handle all of the terrain that it would have to handle across the world, and it did such a fantastic job at it.
Those wheel arches are amazing, aren't they? For the time, they look really kind of modern.
Yeah, so the big bubble style rally arches. It's got on the front of it, if I try and not hit anything, the big bull bar, sort of rough bumper on the back as well, and the little individual lights which are different to the factory car as well. So everything just to make it, as easy to fix on the road as possible.
And where is it that we're at now? This is over by the coast, isn't it?
Yeah, so we've transitioned from farmland through a little bit of jungle, and now we're actually at the tropical coast.
Reason for being there. This one's a Baja one, isn't it, Andy?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so we have obviously the Bronco Badlands is on the cover. We have the classic 1975 Bronco. We have the Bronco Ultra 4, which was actually in the initial drive as well. You kind of do a jump over the Porsche 911 in the jungle section. And then there's this one, which is the...
Andy, please.
Yeah.
These people are on holiday.
Better look out.
So yeah, the tropical coast is definitely one compared to the west, the rocky coast. Definitely like the ideal kind of vacation destination. You know, the ideal visual you see when thinking of Mexico.
And as perfect postcard it does look at the moment, if you're playing in storm season, this is one of the areas that can, when the weather conditions are right, can have tropical storms, which turn it from this perfect paradise into a really kind of like intense, exciting, and visceral like storm experience.
Wow!
Which is a really cool thing to just drive through.
The idea of calling it a perfect paradise after Andy's been through.
Yeah.
I know, right?
It's ironic, isn't it?
I guess yeah, we'll do
absolutely massive.
That is a big, Look at that. So what's that? I mean, to me, that tells me that's an off-road vehicle, right? I'm trying to think, like, in a very sort of way, like, what I would pick this car to do, like, cross-country or those sort of, like, off-road races, right?
I think certainly in the game, that is probably where you take it. I think in real life, you'd probably... It could also be a work truck or even an everyday truck if you're a truck person. But yeah, it's certainly... It's got that Ford Tough DNA, hasn't it? So yeah, it's built for the road, built for off-road, built for doing work in it, built for chucking all your camping gear in the back or a jet ski or something.
Everyone's camping gear in the back.
Hopefully we stumble upon one of our ambient trucks or buses around the world so you can see just how big this thing is.
It is massive.
Yeah, it's a 6.7 litre diesel engine. It's got 1,000 foot-pound of torque, which is just insane. You could pull your whole house along if you wanted to.
right. Fit your house in the bed on the back.
Or that, yeah.
With our little English houses.
True American vehicle.
And where is it on the map are we at the moment, Don?
So we are in Arid Hills, which is perfect to show off the off-roading and power of this F450. Yeah, we're in the Arid Hills, and the Arid Hills it's very kind of wild with these dense pockets of trees, which makes it really fun to when you're beelining across the world to kind of just dodge some trees and hit some smashable ones. So it's a very engaging experience for driving around, and obviously you see there's a bunch of undulation as well. The Arid Hills actually sits just outside of Guanajuato, so that's why Guanajuato is so undulating, because it's sat in a nest of hills.
This is one of my favourite areas for Eliminator. To grab a good off-road car with a bit of suspension movement and then just lurk around here, and any unsuspecting car which doesn't have that suspension movement can get eaten alive.
I love the idea of you guys just having like an afternoon where you all just set each other in the Eliminator.
That is absolutely what we do. That's Friday afternoons.
Love it. Is there any like unbeaten champions at the moment?
No, there's not anyone unbeaten. It's quite hard, I think, to stay unbeaten in Eliminator when there's so many players.
And then here we're transitioning into the canyon biome.
And we haven't seen the canyon yet either on stream, have we?
No, we haven't seen it since the E3 demo. Yeah, it's an absolutely Andy.
Tried to park my house.
A Macan, as you would pick it up from the showroom. This is one that's been built by LP Racing, as it says on the back, who are actually kind of an aftermarket provider of motorcycle parts for like really performance motorcycles, but they also have a motorsports arm that do motorcycle racing and also endurance car racing, and this is one of the cars that they've built for. Is it for the Baja?
This is more sort of Dakar style.
Dakar,
racing,
sorry.
But, yeah, it's quite cool. It's, if the Escort Mexico was the sort of 1960s version, this is the modern version of the go anywhere, endure everything racing style.
The Land Rover Defender just feeling like he can go anywhere he wants.
I think he saw you in his rearview mirror.
Yeah. I showed him how to do it.
So John, what can you tell us about the canyons as we go through it here? It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, so the canyon's really all about scale and just the impressive rock cliff faces. And
That's
kind
what
of
I was
just,
thinking.
yeah, it's actually during sunset and sunrises, you get amazing sunlight. So I know for photographers, it's a great area to get some photography.
Yeah, because of those huge like rock cliff faces as well, it's like one of the best locations in the game to really take advantage of the ray traced audio. So if you're in a car like this and you're flying along next to this rocky wall, you can just hear the sound of your engine like bouncing off the wall and coming back at you. It really makes everything feel like you're nestled in a real place. Sneak peek of the train tracks as well.
Oh yeah. Just looks like a really fun place to drive through. It's like, because of the hills, it doesn't tell me there's a lot of shortcuts over this area. So actually, it's the type of place where you just enjoy being on the road.
Yeah, it is right. This is one of the places where, in real life, you'd go there just for the drive.
Exactly.
Yeah, you weren't actually going anywhere. You just drove there, drove the roads, and then we're like, let's drive it back again.
Soak up a bit of nature.
Let's try a bit of off-road.
Yeah.
Oh, train track again.
There we go. Do you know where you're going, Andy?
Just about.
I mean, that's the great thing about the canyon. You have like a good off-road experience, plus you have a good on-road experience as well. In parallel.
Let's try and get back on road again.
Oh, train track again. Don't stay there too long. Porsche dealer, unlike the previous vehicles. This is the Porsche Taycan Turbo S, which is Porsche's brand new performance electric vehicle.
So actually the second electric car on the stream today as well.
Yes, so the AMG ONE is a hybrid, so it's got an electric motor. This is 100% electric, and it's frankly a fantastic car. So the way Porsche have approached this with their very first EV is they wanted to recreate the driving experience of a 911, but in an electric vehicle, and that's especially difficult because it obviously has to have a massive battery and weighs about 2.4 tons.
Wow.
And despite that pretty incredible weight, 0 to 60s in 2.6 seconds, top speed 160. It's, I haven't had the joy of driving one, unfortunately, but apparently drives basically just like a 911, which is a fairly lightweight sports car.
Sorry.
Sorry, mate. Yeah.
It's nice to know Andy drives like me too.
Yeah, I thought I was in the UK again.
Celebrity owners include Will Smith. And apparently, someone told me just before we came on air, Bill Gates has one as well.
Oh, as you do.
Yeah, so perhaps not the car for everybody, but it's
But maybe your dreams can one day come true.
Exactly.
And if not, Forza Horizon 5 out in November. Play it then.
Great plug, Charlie.
Thank you.
Remembering why we're all here.
Thank you. I like that little area on the corner there.
So you've driven it, Andy. Does it do it? Did it feel like a 911?
Oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
Incredible car.
One thing I wanted to point out here was butterflies.
Butterflies?
So actually, during a certain season in Mexico, there's a big monarch butterfly migration that happens in the canyon areas. We kind of represented that in our game as well.
This is such a stunning additional element to add, because it would only be if you go and stop here you would see that, because normally people are bombing through it all. But that's so authentic. I love it. Look at them all.
Yeah, so you'll experience this in the spring season, and then it won't be there in spring, obviously, but yeah.
Lovely. I think we wanted to drop
Sierra
one
RX3. It's a UTV, so super off-road vehicle, but it also is actually really high performance on asphalt as well. It can do both types of racing. Incredible suspension travel if Andy wants to give it a whirl.
But instantly spin it into a barrier. Yeah.
A lot of power going to the rear wheels only, so it's a bit of a handful. Yeah, but there's just we're heading up into the arid hills now, which again is just I think the perfect location to show some of the cool stuff that this particular car can do. As Andy decides to.
Oh, Andy.